You know exactly who you are, you always have, but I'm still looking.
Both of these parents attribute the worth of their child to, are you a chip off the old block or not?
We'll unlock every mystery. Together.
These parents are failing to give unconditional love.
All this time you took after me.
I know what you're gonna say, Stoic. How could I have done this?
I was wrong. I see that now.
That doesn't mean the work is done.
He always said you'd become the strongest of them all. And he was right.
How does he become Hiccup, not Valka's son?
Hello, and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright and Night Fury!
That's right, today we're going to be talking about How to Train Your Dragon, specifically the second film,
Okay.
where Valka, Hiccup's mother, returns after being presumed dead. There's a lot of chatter on the internet about whether or not she was justified in leaving, or whether she's actually just a bad parent. So I'm going to sound off and do some family therapy for this broken family.
Okay, interesting.
Spoiler, she's a bad parent.
I mean, she is, but...
Could it be? After all these years? How's this possible?
Should I know you?
No. You were only a babe. But a mother never forgets.
He has assumed that his dad is a widower and that he doesn't have a mother, that she died in a dragon attack.
Right.
Here she is. Where were you? Why did you miss raising me? Why weren't you there all these years?
There was a me for this whole time.
Right, what's going on? And he's got questions and she's about to give answers, but I do want to point out how, I know it's a very simple thing to make characters look like each other, but I love how much he looks like her.
Yeah.
That he doesn't...
Especially since he looks nothing like Stoic.
Right. That's where he gets it from. He also gets from her compassion for dragons.
Yeah.
Peg leg.
What did your father think of your Night Fury friend?
He didn't take it all that well. But then he changed. They all did. Pretty soon, everyone back home had dragons of their own.
If only it were possible.
No, really.
Believe me, I tried as well, but people are not capable of change, Hiccup.
Some of us were just born different.
Or maybe you could listen to the
What he's telling you.
guy who's talking to you. I don't know.
All right, Valka, been away for 20 years because she is obsessed with a cause.
Yes.
Her cause is keeping dragons safe. They are not vicious, awful creatures. They are caring and intelligent, and they're just like us in the sense that they fight to protect, but we are thoroughly misunderstanding each other. Hiccup, cut from the exact same cloth. My issue is that she's putting cause before family instead of choosing cause and family.
Right.
And she'll talk about this in a bit, that she didn't believe anybody could change, so she stayed away. But as you said, Hiccup's telling her, Dad had a problem with it, but then he changed. Everyone did. We all have dragons. And she just immediately...
Just bulldozes him.
Yeah.
Like, that's not how it is. It's
Which...
like, where have you been? You smell like a dragon.
And why would you not believe me? You're implicitly calling me a liar. Now, she's relying on her own experience, and we can be closed off because of that, because of our pain, because of our trauma, because of how we've been treated, what have you. That's very human. So she's not a bad character or a badly written character. That's very realistic. Mm-hmm. But the question is, how's her parenting?
Not great.
You almost died because I couldn't kill a dragon, so you were safer without me there. No, I think that's what you told yourself because you got hijacked by a dragon, landed in their community and said, this is where I want to stay, and justified not being with your family. I'm sure it did break her heart, but the fact is, okay, so you can't kill a dragon. Do you know how many other ways a mother can help protect and raise a son aside from killing dragons? Real life mothers do it all the time. We don't have dragons and kids still need parents.
Also, you Ride a dragon.
Yeah.
Ride your dragon back to prove to everyone.
She chose to stay away. And my question is that a character defect or is that a writing defect?
I think, based on the rest of the film and the next one, I think it's a character defect.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. This is what we want out of a story, right? You don't want a story where everyone is a flawless character and they all treat each other exactly the way they would want to be treated, because then you don't have drama.
Well, I think she also decided Stoic and I, we have irreconcilable differences, so I'm not going back.
Yeah, even though I still love him, we're so far apart on this one thing that it just can't work.
Right. Hey, when was the last time you needed to go to the doctor, but you pushed it off?
You made the excuse, oh, but I'm too busy learning how to fly a dragon.
Or, this dragon fire burn will heal on its own.
Or, I don't even know how to find a good doctor on Burke. It's a small island.
I think we've all been there.
Booking a doctor's appointment can feel as daunting as telling your dad you've befriended his sworn enemy.
But thanks to ZocDoc, there's no reason to delay.
They make it so easy to find and book a doctor right near you.
ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality, in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment.
Faster than a night fury.
Oh my god. He even did the sounds. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty.
From mental health to dental health, eye care to skincare, and much more.
And when you're searching for a doctor, you can filter for ones who take your insurance, are located near you, and who treat basically any condition you're searching for.
Do you think they have anyone that treats scale-caused saddle sores?
Scale-caused
I'm
saddle
asking for a
sores.
friend. For a friend. You can also see their actual appointment openings.
Choose a time slot that works for you.
And click to instantly book a visit.
Plus, ZocDoc appointments happen fast, typically within 24 to 72 hours of booking.
You can even score same-day appointments.
If I need a new doctor, I'm going to use ZocDoc to find and book great doctors near me.
Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today.
That's ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy.
ZocDoc.com/cinematherapy.
All this time you took after me. And where was I? I'm so sorry, Hiccup. Can we start over?
Beautiful and problematic. I'll talk about it in a sec.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it seems on the surface really good.
Yeah.
I can teach you all that I've learned these past 20 years. Like... Now you can make those tight turns.
She's a chiropractor as well.
Did you know about this?
You can inherit the family business of dragon adjusting.
Dragon adjustments.
This is who you are, son. Who we are. We will change the world for all dragons. We will make it a better, safer place.
Yeah, I mean,
And she's coming from her perspective where the only thing that matters is dragons.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's my issue is all these years you took after me. It's like, oh, suddenly you were worth sticking around for.
Right.
Because what would have happened if she had met Hiccup, but he took after Stoic? It's like, oh, you're like your father. I'm glad I left. Yeah. That's the implication.
This is exactly what would happen if I somehow surprised my mom and was like, oh, hey, can you come to my graduation? I'm getting my MBA.
Yeah.
This is what she would do.
Yeah. And weirdly, both Stoic and Valka commit this same error. Because in the first film, Stoic's like, oh, he thinks Hiccup's a dragon killer now. He says, we have something to talk about. I was ashamed and embarrassed by you, but now you take after me. Both of these parents attribute the worth of their child to, are you a chip off the old block or not?
Right.
Do you see the world the way I do or not? Because if not, I think you're kind of worthless. I'm not super interested.
Yeah, and we talked a lot about Stoic and Hiccup's relationship in our previous How to Train Your Dragon episode.
Yeah.
That focused basically on their relationship.
Now, in Stoic's defense, he at least stuck around and parented and protected the kid.
Yep.
He wasn't the best father, but he did care.
He did.
He did provide, and he did raise the child. So here's my thing with Valka. I don't like to say good and bad, so I'm going to say good and bad, and then I'm going to use more supportive words. If I have to go really simple, good person, bad parent.
Sure.
Which happened. She's deeply compassionate. She's empathetic, and she has the integrity to commit herself to a cause. Good person. Bad parent. Abandons her child with what I see as a parent. Like, it's an excuse to say you'd be safer without me.
Yeah.
Okay, insecurity, self-loathing, or maybe you just wanted to be with the dragons. Whatever's going on, you have a kid, you show up for the kid.
Yeah.
And if you're afraid of being an imperfect parent, then guess what? You work on it.
Guess what? We all are.
We all are, and your kid needs you. And so these parents are failing to give unconditional love to Hiccup.
Right.
And so on the surface, it's beautiful because we're going to save the dragons together. But since I don't like to use the words good and bad, they're judgment words, I would say that she shines as an animal rights activist.
Sure. Yep.
Well, I suppose there is that. One specific thing.
And she is deficient as a parent. There's a lot of room for growth.
There is a lot of room for growth.
If I were doing therapy with Valka and Hiccup in this moment, I would push Valka further into actually taking ownership and apologizing.
Sure.
And I would help her to see, okay, Valka, this is all beautiful. Do you see how you're only truly valuing Hiccup now because he shares your views, not because he's your child or he's a human being and he is worth in and of himself?
Right.
And how can we work towards that? Because otherwise Hiccup will potentially be trapped in a cycle of trying to please you so that he can keep you. Yes. And that's not healthy for the long term.
Right.
I know what you're going to say, Stoic. How could I have done this? Stayed away all of these years, and why didn't I come back to you?
Yep.
To our son?
Yep.
Well, what sign did I have that you could change, Stoic? That anyone on Burke could?
It's an excuse.
I pleaded so many times to stop the fighting, to find another answer, but did any of you listen?
This is why I never married. This and one other reason.
He's gay.
I know that I left you to raise Hiccup alone, but I thought he'd be better off without me. And I was wrong. I see that now.
Good. It's a good first step.
Stop being so stoic. Go on. Shout, scream, say something.
You're as beautiful as the day I lost you.
That's such a great close-up.
Mm-hmm. And then she just melts. She expected his anger, his rage, his judgment, his scorn.
And she gets forgiveness. And what is that?
So the controversy is this is another double-edged scene like the last one where on the surface it's beautiful. He extends unconditional love and forgiveness and he just missed her and just wants her. And I love that. And she does take a mild amount of accountability. That was wrong. I see that now.
Yeah.
But she leads with, here are all my reasons.
Okay.
Which, again, I think is a character defect, not a writing defect, because people do this.
Yeah. No, she's getting defensive because she thinks she's going to be attacked.
Right. And so it's completely natural for her right here. It is, however, excuse-making. Yeah. And if she hadn't said that it was wrong now, I see that, I would have been shaking my fist at the screen.
Right. This scene does not go, I absolve you of all guilt and we're never having a discussion about this again.
Right.
What this scene is you need this right now.
Yeah.
I want you to know that I forgive you. This doesn't say there's never going to be any work.
Right. But it also doesn't not say that.
Right.
Because headcanon isn't canon.
Headcanon isn't canon.
The choice she made hurt her husband and her son.
Yeah, it did.
And she doesn't fully apologize or say, here's the steps I'm going to take to make it right.
Well, in this scene, it's a look what you made me do.
Which
is like the worst non-apology that you can have.
What evidence did I have that you were going to change or that anybody would change? None. And it's like,
you made a commitment to me and you knew who I was, that I killed dragons, and then you expect me to change later? And,
and that's the thing, is she's using it as a reason, but it's actually only adjacent to the issue at hand.
Sure.
Because the fact is, she has a responsibility to their child. That's being a parent.
Yep.
And she left him to do it alone.
Right.
And the fact that he killed dragons and the whole town killed dragons was no reason to leave their son. There were a million things she could have done. And that's the thing I would like to see more of. And if I were doing family therapy with this family in this moment, I would say, Stoic, what you've given Valka is a beautiful gift. It's an olive branch. And it's big picture. You are communicating no matter what she did. If she wants a home with you, and if she wants you, you want her, you still love her, you still choose her. Valka, that doesn't mean the work is done. for Stoic to trust you, and even more importantly, perhaps for Hiccup to trust you, we can't just say, well, everything's happy now. There's a lot to work through, and we have to do that work.
Yep.
I have no use for rings of gold.
So obviously, the film is signaling to us, because she joins him in the song, she's coming home, they're going to be a family.
They want you near.
And I think it's a beautiful bit of storytelling where it's show, don't tell, like you talk about, right? You don't need to see her say, yes, I'll come home. You don't need to see him saying, I forgive you.
Well, this is why musicals work, right? You sing when the feelings are too big.
Yeah.
That can work if music is part of your life.
I thought I'd have to die before we'd have that dance again.
No need for drastic measures.
For you, my dear. Anything. Will you come home, Val? Will you be my wife once again?
And again, show, don't tell. She doesn't have to say it.
A family. What do you say?
Yes.
But she says it anyway. I was wrong, but it's still beautiful.
I'll do the cooking.
So I love almost everything about this scene.
It's a beautiful scene.
It's a beautiful scene, beautifully performed, beautifully animated. The song's great, everything's great. As a relationship therapist, I'm a little miffed that she left, she hurt him.
And he's the one trying to make amends?
And he's the one trying, well, not make amends, but convince her to come back.
I guess that's the way to put it.
When she should be the one saying, will you please take me back? I want to be a family again. I'm sorry that I hurt you. Now, I get why, in the case of the characters, she's married to Stoic, but she is also a Stoic figure.
She's married to the dragons, emotionally.
True. And Stoic is saying, it's okay, we can...
I think he's saying, like, hey, look, we've all come around to your way of thinking.
Yeah.
You don't have to be out here by yourself anymore. You can come back. And
Right.
she's still trying to work through, like, this is a big change for her. She's spent the last 20 years thinking all humans hate all dragons. And it's a big shift.
In the context of the movie, it works. He sees that she's struggling, and instead of waiting for her to do what she kind of ought to do, he takes a step out and says, hey, you're having a hard time finding the words, and you're having a hard time believing that you'd be welcome. You are welcome. We want you home.
Which is also super in character for Stoic, by the way, to just charge in and fight, right?
But if this were family therapy, again, I'd be pushing Valka to open up a little bit about the damage that she did, because he went 20 years without the woman that he loves.
Yeah.
And Hiccup was raised without a mother. And while I think it is beautiful that they are all willing to forgive and accept her back in and be a family, I want a little more from Valka. I want a little more of doing the work to look after them. Listen, there's something to be said about what John Gottman calls unsolvable problems. That in every healthy marriage, he says somewhere between 60 and 70% of issues, disagreements, annoyances are unsolvable. They're not going anywhere because they come down to character. They come down to personality, core traits or core values. The other
60 to 70% of problems are not solvable?
Yeah.
Wow. That seems high.
But don't give up hope. What that means is you're not going to change them. So
so you're just going to accept. Okay, I see what that means.
So there's like 30 to 40% of things that you can work through, make
work
adaptation.
into a middle ground.
Right. But a lot of things, it's like, well, and this is one of the reasons why it's so important to choose the right person instead of thinking I'm going to mold them into something else later on. You choose the person who, as they are, I want them as they are.
Sure.
They're not a fixer-upper. They've done the work to become a higher and better version of themselves. And what they want out of life, what they want out of a relationship, it all works together. It all gels.
And the unsolvable problems are a small enough deal that it's not going to derail everything else.
Right. So, for example, if your partner chews their cereal too loudly.
What?
So, in their case, Valka was...
Me, not you.
So, in their case, Valka was never going to change her mind about dragons. She had a core belief, and then it was confirmed.
Yeah.
That's an irreconcilable difference if you're married to a sworn dragon killer. Mm-hmm. That is a legitimate reason not to stay with someone.
Sure.
But it's not a legitimate reason to leave your kid. Okay. Anyways.
Oh, buddy, take a breath.
But now Stoic is saying, hey, that unsolvable problem just got solved.
It's been solved.
Yeah. I'm on the same page with you. I love dragons. I ride them all the time. My best friend is a dragon.
I can't be specious.
And he's saying, come home, and that's beautiful. Now, Stoic dies.
Whoa!
They all know. They all know. We went deeper into that in our other episode on Stoic and Hiccup. So, but I love this. I love this bit from Valka. I'm sorry, that was heartless.
Whiplash.
I'm not the chief that you wanted me to be. And I'm not the peacekeeper I thought I was.
He was trying to be dead. He was trying to be mom.
And we're going to see the first real great bit of parenting from Valka here.
You came early into this world. You were such a wee thing. Oh, so frail, so fragile. I feared you wouldn't make it. But your father, he never doubted. He always said you'd become the strongest of them all. And he was right. You have the heart of a chief and the soul of a dragon. Only you can bring our worlds together. That is who you are.
You're not me and you're not dead. You're part of both of us.
And you're also your own person. This is the first moment where...
That is such an amazing shot.
Yeah. Wow.
Holy crap. Lighting team at DreamWorks.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think this is the first moment that Valka not only truly sees Hiccup, but also truly understands what it means to be a mother. She let Stoic handle the parenting. Stoic's not here anymore.
Yeah.
And I think all of us can relate to stepping into a role because you kind of have no choice.
Because you're sort of forced into it.
But this is what being a parent is. And I think Valka's a much better parent moving forward, because being a parent is not, I want you to be a chip off the old block. I created you to be a small version of me. You are here to create your own path, to create your own life, to be your own person. And my role is to prepare you for life and to let you know that whatever happens in your life, you always have a safe place to return to where you are seen and welcomed and loved.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of you watching this are probably getting emotional right now because you never had that. You had parents who, like Stoic and Valka, only valued what they valued, or who weren't there for you, or who were too hard on you, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
One of the beautiful things about this story, speaking of Valka's character defects and Stoic's character defects, is that they're not great parents to start with, but they grow just as Hiccup grows.
Yeah.
And for their family to heal, it requires not just forgiveness, but changed behavior. I would have liked to have seen more accountability from Valka, but I can't fault her when it comes to changed behavior, because from here on out in the second film and the third film, she is a very present, accepting, supportive mother for Hiccup. And that to me is beautiful.
Your father, he'd be every bit as proud as I am.
Thank you. I'm really glad you're here, Mom.
And here I'll stay.
See? I told you it was in here.
Still doing that one. That's
So, sorry, we have a whole episode on these two as well for you guys to watch. But talking about Valka, so here Hiccup is going to be anointed as the chief. Take his father's place, but he's going to do it his way. And when Valka talks about only you can bring our worlds together, that was her original dream, and then she kind of gave up on it, and her world was just the dragons. But she's honoring who Hiccup is, isn't necessarily who she wants or chooses him to be. It's the path he sets for himself.
The chief has come home!
Oh, man.
And then John Powell doing... just very little. Honestly, it's not that good.
You're so full of crap.
And the effects team at DreamWorks. Holy crap, guys. Okay. DreamWorks Animation Studio. Thank you all for your hard work. John Powell in particular. The How to Train Your Dragon score is every composer's favorite score.
Yeah.
Your favorite composer's favorite composer is John Powell doing this score. And The reason why is because the musical themes are relatively simple, but the orchestration is incredible.
And layered.
So multi-layered and multifaceted. All of it is serving the story. Like, it's a beautiful orchestral composition on its own.
Yeah.
But it's also completely serving the story at the same time. All of that artistry from John Powell, from all of the artists at DreamWorks, from the voice actors and from the writers, gets us to this beautiful emotional place of understanding the relationship and centering all of the action and all of the drama and suspense of this film around the relationship that Hiccup has with himself.
Yeah.
Instead of just seeing himself as his father's son or his mother's son.
Yeah.
Which is what we've spent 2 whole movies now dealing with, is how does he become Hiccup, not Valka's son or Stoic's son.
Chasing their shadow or chasing who they are. And I feel like a lot of people online are triggered by Valka because it speaks to their experience.
For sure.
Right? And they feel like the film lets Valka off too easily. I think there's an argument to be made there that that's the case.
Yeah.
I also know that when it comes to parents who later in life come around and say, I wasn't there for you, I want to be there for you now, you have a choice to make. Sometimes the hurt is too deep, or there's no way that you'll ever feel safe with this person, so you can say, I'm sorry, I don't choose that. In other cases, healing can actually happen with the change behavior, with the accountability, and something new and beautiful can be built. I've seen it many, many times. But you don't just leap to it and say, I'm glad you're back. Right? Which is, I feel like, kind of what happens in this film. It's not to the detriment of the film, still a freaking masterpiece. But in real life, there would be a lot of work to get to a place where, okay, we can let the past stay in the past now.
Well, and this is the difference between film and real life.
Yeah.
In real life, you've got more than 90 minutes.
Yeah, very true, very true. And for the time they had, they sell the hell out of it.
They really do.
Yeah.
So until next time.
You're as beautiful as the day I lost you.
Behold the Bewilderbeast. And watch movies.
Shout out to our patrons over on our Patreon who get so much exclusive stuff from Cinema Therapy Studios. If you really want to see this man shine as a filmmaker, that is Ground Zero. Check it out. Folks like
Sammy or Sammy Dorman,
Bree,
Imperiatrix Matt,
Rowan Katara,
and Terrence.
Thank you, patrons. We love you.